Good morning to all of you. It's actually reminding me like going back 25 years. I used to be like one of you, and I think it's good to be back. And normally I'm not coming nowadays even for the campus interviews, but I think after 2 days experience, I'll try to come back again. Let me thank General Bhargav and the management of Amity, Colonel Arora, and all the management who has actually invited me here to share my views. And I do see a lot of, after seeing the program actually, a lot of people from the telecom industry. I saw the name of Gotten. We have Urs from the NSN. I saw like Tarvinder from Motorola. I have my colleague like Sriram, Abhay was there yesterday, Mr. Vijay Madan. So, like a lot of people are there. You are really very veteran people from the telecom industry. So it's a good marriage between the industry and the institute. So I think I would encourage Amity, and I think I would also thank Amity that this is a very good initiative which Amity is doing. In general, universities normally, if you see hesitant in getting, sort of involved with the industry. It's good for you. Actually, when I passed out in 86, there was nothing like any industry coming and speaking to us. And, I started my career as a scientist in DRDO. And I never thought that I'll end up in private institute. And that time, I had choice to go in BARC. So I, for a few days, joined BARC and then went back to DRDO. But very soon we all decided to, come back to telecom industry or the private industry as such. We joined around 53 people, and 26 people after the bond left the government. So, but I'm lucky to be part of this growth in telecom. I think we were hearing in the morning, I came to Delhi in 93, and it was very tough to get even the landline connection. Deposited 15,000 rupees and waited for 6 months to get it, and applied my all the contacts to get the connection. I think we are very much, I would say, the lucky that this sector has been one of the prominent sector for Indian economy growth, and it's continuing to be sort of prominent sector at least for 5 to 10 years to come, because you still have seen just tele density increase for the voice applications. And we still don't have any, if you say, really good broadband in this country. Unfortunately, we do not have too much wireline or the fiber network in ground. This country has gone for the huge growth in wireless, which has been good for us, boon for us. And it's not only good in terms of ensuring the good tele density, but I think the telecom sector is having huge impact on Indian economy. Telecom sector having huge impact in terms of attracting the investors outside India. Telecom sector is putting us actually on, I would say in top 6, 7, 8 companies around the world. To let you know, Airtel is today 5th largest company in the world, telecom company. So this is the kind of, just because the telecom is growing, Indian companies are growing, Indian economy is growing, and all of us are growing actually. We all have the opportunity. So I would say you are in the right sector, you are in the right timings, and you will have, I'm sure, the great potential to grow, and you will have a lot of opportunity in this industry. This industry is going to grow for another 10 to 15 years at least. The way you are seeing the mobile growth, especially it has come in last 6 to 7, 8 years, after the tariff going down, and we have right now, this is the only country where we have 12 licenses per circle. There's no country in the world actually who has more than 5 to 6 licenses. Hong Kong was the only one country where there were 7 licenses. Very soon in 2 years, 2 licenses got sold or got merged. Now only 5 operators in Hong Kong. We don't know how many will survive in long run, but at least there's a good opportunity for the employees, for the people like you, and good opportunity for to grow the tele density of the country. At the same time, I think we have only seen this growth because the tariff came down, and today we are again the lowest, or I would say the cheapest telecom service provider in the world. And I think I would say Indian public deserve to be, keeping in mind our economy, keeping in mind our GDP, keeping in mind our, sort of desire to have the telecom services. At the same time, I think now it's becoming tough even for the operator to survive in the industry to go any further down. So you will see some, changes happening in the industry maybe in coming 18 months to 24 months. In terms of mergers happening, in terms of acquisition happening, in terms of, something new happening to take this industry in healthy way forward. Right now we have around 550 plus million customers, and mostly around 30 million are wireline, and rest is all wireless. GSM is going to grow, or the wireless GSM plus CDMA is going to grow for some more time. And when I say some more time, I am sure the oats will be coming and speaking. Whatever we hear from the world, I'm also part of the GSMA, so I keep getting the news every 2 months from the international world. I keep attending those meetings. Everybody says that GSM is going to survive for another 10 years. Yes, 3G will be coming, LTE will be coming, and I think we need 3G or LTE at the earliest or before anybody else. Unfortunately, I'm sure you must be hearing and you must be reading the papers. Every time, next month, next week, next month, next week, for last 2 years, the license is getting delayed. But hopefully, I think very soon in this year, license should come out, and we should have network, if not in this calendar year, maybe in this financial year. The big benefit of 3G will be not the voice. The big benefit for our country will be broadband. The way, broadband is growing, everybody need internet connection. Everybody want to have the application which require the broadband connection. And as I said, unfortunately, not too much choice available other than the wireless, because wireline is very limited. And right now, no operator is actually deploying wireline, except maybe Bharti is doing a little bit. And other than Bharti Airtel, I think the deployment of the fiber and copper in the ground is hardly anything in the country. In fact, BSNL is losing at least 2 to 3 million lines, disconnections happening in last 3-4 years. So the only choice left is wireless, and for the broadband connection, the choice left is 3G, WiMAX, LTE. LTE, keeping in mind, yes, it's a very promising technology and has to come, maybe another 2 to 3 years, but for Indian market might be another 4-5 years. And why I'm saying this? The reason is the affordability of the devices, affordability of overall network, and even getting the spectrum for the LTE. I think we will be behind at least 2 to 3 years compared to developed countries. Right now, LTE is being deployed on the trial basis. There are some commercial networks, but LTE certainly will give really the broadband experience. You can also get reasonably very good experience on HSP and 3G. So once 3G license comes out, this country will see another huge growth and another, I would say, the wave of telecom in broadband side. So you have only seen the wave in 2G for the voice. I think there is still huge potential left in the market for the broadband. And this broadband, as I said, will be wireless for the Indian country. And this will be around 3G, WiMAX and LTE, because there are no other choice available in the market. And at the same time, what are the choices are there? We need to see what is the affordability of our country, our users, our customers or consumers. So keeping in mind that 2G is going to survive for another at least 5 to 10 years, keeping in mind we have huge potential on the mobile broadband or the broadband. We have 3G around the corner, we have WiMAX coming up, we have the LTE in the future. I think we have the huge potential for the people like you in the industry we have huge potential for the country in terms of having the impact on the economy, having the impact on the youth population of this country, having the impact on the lifestyle of Indians. I think we deserve, and we just are waiting these services to be launched. At the same time, I think since I heard there are some guys from the business side as well, I'll just throw some light. As I said, we are having the cheapest telecom service compared to any country. We have just recently acquired the license in Bangladesh, Bharti Telecom, and I have been in Bangladesh for 3 times in the last 2 months. I would say in terms of tariff, in terms of the affordability, we are having much better affordability, but the tariff what we have is even cheaper than Bangladesh, cheaper than Sri Lanka, cheaper than Pakistan. So forget any other country, I'm just talking about the neighboring country. So there's a good pressure on the operators to survive, and there's a good pressure on the cost, and I'm sure that company like NSN or the Ericsson will be supporting the operators and finally the end consumer to meet those kind of pressures. But there's a certainly limit how low you can go. So the big challenge is how do we ensure the cost efficiencies, productivities, and affordability of the services, and win-win for the partners like company like Ericsson, Nokia, for the operator like Airtel, Voda, Idea, Reliance, or affordability for our consumers. So you guys also need to apply your mind, how can I ensure the cost-effective delivery of the telecom services? And this is the major reason actually, once the incoming was made free around 5 years back in this country, we started getting millions of customers every month, and we were the pioneer actually. Airtel was the company who made first the incoming free. We reduced the STD tariff from 8 rupees per minute to 3 rupees per minute. As the tariff went down, the growth went up. And it's an exponential growth actually, whether it's a multiple SIM phenomena or it's a new connections. Actually, you would have seen like 19 million customers coming in 1 month of December. It was a huge growth. I don't think in the history of any country, 19 million connection would have come, net adds, in any country including China. So this shows clearly that if you have the right price for the market, you'll get the right growth, right volume. So we are hoping once we get 3G, I think the broadband prices will be right. Today the issue with the WiMAX is that the price affordability for the mass market, because the devices are so expensive, that affordability for the mass market is not there. And we are hoping 3G has a much bigger volume compared to WiMAX. Maybe the affordability for the broadband will go up, and as a resultant of that, the good penetration of the broadband in the country. So you also need to keep in mind, how do we have the balance between the cost and the price and the growth? So I thought maybe I'll just let you know that there's a limit, and we are reached to that limit, I hope. In terms of, I think one more issue I want to bring to your notice, just for education purpose, this country has the lowest spectrum in the world. And I'm sure Gautam was there yesterday, I don't know whether he spoke or not, and we have votes today. And whenever we talk to all these multinational companies, we need help in terms of having the spectral efficiency as much as possible. And I think the answer which I'm getting for last 2 years, you are having the most spectral efficiency, the best efficiency in the world. There's no operator in the world who's asking these kind of solutions. So since nobody asked, we never developed. So everything in terms of the spectral efficiency, all the development, even in the multinational companies, are happening towards the Indian market. So the biggest problem right now we have is like spectrum not being available. The reason is your 12 operator, the same spectrum of GSM, need to be divided among the 12 operators. So you have too many operators, that's the reason you don't get the sufficient spectrum. So we need to find the innovative ways and means to ensure that we deliver the maximum along traffic or the traffic per megahertz or per kilohertz, whatever the unit you want to take. I'll just give you one example. Like Airtel in Delhi, we had 2 million customers around 3 years back, and we had 10.2 megahertz spectrum. Today we have 5.5 million customers, we have the same spectrum. Today we have the sites every 3 to 400 meter. There's a site of the Airtel. The reason is I don't have the spectrum, so I have to split the site and reuse the same frequency. So I think this is another, thing which this industry is facing, and the spectrum certainly impacts our cost. CapEx and OpEx both are actually driven by the spectrum. So there's another pressure we have compared to any other country, that we are pumping more subscribers per site or per megahertz or per kilohertz, and we are actually, that is resulting for us is higher cost. So this is like another, issue we are facing in the industry. So the competition, 12 operators, the cost pressure, the tariff pressure, and the spectrum pressure, all put together. So we are just hoping that we get the 3G at the earliest. And with this, I think I would say you are in the right industry, you are in the right market, and there's no market which is better than India market right now in terms of the telecom growth. So I wish you all the good luck, and you will have huge potential to grow. And anytime if Airtel can support and help, we'll be more than happy to do that. Thank you very much.